Six be shooting, be by stat. This the podcast, yeah, run it back. Kreativ Antics, this a classic. The mother podcast, they don't want no static. To the window, to the wall. You know the world pay attention when they talk. Kreativ Antics. Kreativ Antics.
TG been shooting.
It be from stat right here.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Kreativ Antics. Today we got your boy Stacks, and we have a special guest today. You want to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Rob Taylor. I'm the owner and founder of Pro Elite Productions, LLC. This company focuses on the development of artists and helping artists grow independently on their own, helping you to keep money in your own pocket, trying to help you stay away from the bigger labels, those people who want to take advantage of you. The ultimate goal of this company is to give you all the information, whether that be legal business advice, or templates, mixing and mastering services, teach you how to mix and master. These are all types of services that we offer, and that's just the main goal of Pro Elite Productions LLC. I have a lot of things in the works, such as mastering. I have actual mastering professionals.
Hold on, bro. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. So I'm gonna tell you.
I like the whole spill. That was good.
I'm gonna tell y'all this personally. If you like any of my mixes, any of my mastering, this dude right here is 65% of it. This is my guy, man. This is my mentor. If I got a question, I'm calling him, and he always lead me down the right path. And I salute him for that shit, because he don't have to do that shit.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Definitely.
it.
So Rob, we were talking before and you said you had some classes. So
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about them classes?
Yeah, so I started some classes, and they start from the basics, from how to treat your room, how to select the proper equipment. We go into real depth on those topics, things like what the different frequency spectrums are in a room, why you need certain types of treatment, instead of just telling you to go buy treatment from Amazon or eBay or whatever, things that's going to waste your money, because I've wasted money over the years buying things. We go into details, things like that, and then it graduates to another class, which will go into like equipment and proper gain staging on how to get signals in the right way, because a lot of artists, nowadays, anybody can just get an interface, and record, right? And with COVID and everything going on, it's a lot of remote working going on. So
right, of course,
to get the best sound going in, you want to make sure that you have the proper levels and stuff going in.
Facts.
Okay. Stacks, I know y'all. I'm really out of the loop here. I don't do music, so I'm gonna have a lot of questions. But these two guys,
my man,
give out a lot of information.
He do videos too.
Yes.
Both
of everybody here is a trick of the trade. I just don't get into music. I probably gonna be terrible at that. But go ahead.
So my first question is, so just give us some background, like where you grew up, you know what I'm saying? The
background is, I grew up in Columbus, Ohio, in the bad neighborhoods. I was in and out of trouble as a teenager growing up. It's a lot of things that, I was blessed that I didn't get in trouble for or get caught for. I was homeless at the age of 16. I was in a car. My martial arts teacher came and took me in. I studied Aikido from the age of 16 to about 20.
Wow.
And from there, I lived in his garage and, went into the military from there. That kind of just changed my life. But from about the age of 16 on up, music's always been a part of me, and it's been a way for me to express myself. to kind of like get my mind out of doing negative things, so to speak.
Facts. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, facts.
Okay, so with that, when you first started music, what came first? Were you trying to be like an artist, or were you just, trying to make beats, or just trying to understand music as a whole, or what was your first thing with music?
So my first experience was with music was with a Windows 98 computer
Oh,
and an
snap.
Xbox
Oh,
microphone.
going
Yeah.
way
Your
back.
age.
We
Your
going
age.
way back,
Yeah.
for real.
Windows 98
Yeah.
computer and an Xbox microphone,
Oh,
and I used
Ooh.
I used a beater to put over the top as my pop filter.
Mm-hmm.
And
A wife
really I
beater?
was just yeah.
Oh, because I thought you were gonna say like a stocking or something, like like a stocking.
A
Yeah,
stocking cap now.
yeah,
But
like a
no, I used a beater to cover it up, to try to use it as a pop filter.
yeah.
Yeah.
And really, only thing I was really looking to do is just like express myself,
Right.
get what I was going through out. So, I didn't have it, pent up inside.
Mhm.
I was using a software called Music Creator 4, and that's when it was by Cakewalk.
Okay.
And that was like the introduction to everything. I was about 15 years old. Around 16 years old, I was getting into it. I was dropping music and stuff like that.
Okay.
yeah. That's
All
dope.
right. So I was about to say, because I don't know what you just said with no music for, no nothing. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, let me ask
Yeah,
something.
that's so. Yeah. Because you know what he's talking about.
Not really. That was before my time. But I feel.
Okay, so Rob, you showed your age with that one, because I didn't know what you.
So I would say, yeah. So what got you? So what made you like want to be behind the scenes instead of like in front of the camera?
That's kind of a hard question to answer, because
Mhm.
I found, even at this time, I still make music and stuff like that. It's really hard to, pick a side. 1 minute I'm an artist, and next minute I'm producer and CEO of the company. So, that happens. But I've realized more than anything, creation is the most important thing to me in my life, next to my family.
Oh, of course.
So yeah, that creative process, that constant creative process, and being involved in music and the different aspects of music is what's really driven me to make the decision to start a company and focus on others, rather than myself all the time. And I also find it a lot easier to when I'm trying to do my own personal projects, to kind of like keep my hands off of them and completely separate myself from those projects and send them off to someone else, to work on those, so I can focus on being an artist. Because otherwise, as a producer, you're always going to, be your worst critique.
Always.
So ain't nothing
Facts.
ever gonna get done. So I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
send something. I'm gonna have to send
Facts.
something to Stacks.
Yeah.
If I'm trying to
I
get
was
a
gonna
beat.
say that he don't send me a few things, and he be like, "What you think about this?" I ain't heard no bad song though from
Right.
because if I heard, I'd be like, "Nah, that ain't it, bro."
Right.
Yeah, I ain't heard nothing bad from him. But yeah,
I'm glad you said that. So with the creative part of what you just said, so I know us as creators, I could say this for a lot of us. When does that click on and off? The like, hey, I'm in artist mode, or hey, I'm in CEO mode. Is that just like come quick to you, or is it like something that you gotta sit there and decide, like, hey, today I really need to do this, or you're just like, nah, I'm gonna be an artist today? Do you have to like sit there and decide sometimes, or it just comes to you?
I think for some people it just comes to them. For me, it didn't just come to me.
Okay.
It was a process. It was, sifting through everything and realizing that, the direction that I'm trying to go as an artist. So let me backtrack. So one thing that, as producers we're good at is really developing an artist and seeing a vision that they might not see.
I tell, but you know what?
And
Me being a producer, I tell the artist all the time, I already hear the song. You just gotta perform it how I hear the song. So,
right.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of like, if you think of it as, if you're doing surgery on a family member, if you're a doctor and you have to do surgery on a family member, you're too close to that person to really be able to think clearly, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
So you need that other person, that other producer, or those outside resources to help lead you in the right direction. Now, granted, as a producer, as a business owner, somebody who's been around music, you have an understanding on, how things, should go more than others, but you still need that help. You still need that team, to help push you and be better than what you already are. I rely on Stacks a lot, for his critique, for his, guidance, because to be honest, I've worked with a lot of people throughout the years, and he's probably one of the hardest working people, that can, match that level of energy that I
appreciate
have.
that, bro.
Yeah, and passion for music, so it's there's not really anybody else that I would ask, and he's great at writing songs.
Right.
A specific lane that I normally go into. Sometimes if I reach out to him as an artist, he can tap into another side of it, that I wasn't thinking about.
I've been like, I could pretty much write in any genre. Fuck with me. Any genre you want.
Yeah,
I got you.
And I'm gonna just put it out there for the podcast. If some of y'all don't know, but this man's work ethic is crazy. My work ethic is crazy. So that's why we have to collab. And I'm gonna be having I'm gonna have his instrumentals as well as other producers
instrumentals
talk about
that.
And stuff on my.
We're gonna talk about it.
It will be on my website. So
let me ask you a question. So as an influence, whether artist or producer, who is it? Because I'm gonna tell you like this: my two major influences, like especially as being an artist, is Wayne, and as a producer, I feel like Metro Boomin is the GOAT producer. So like,
do you have one?
What's yours?
Like an artist and a producer?
I would say, artist wise, like my influences coming up would probably be, it would be Pac, Fabulous, Wayne, and Cassidy. Like those, and J. Cole, he's not really, he's too current, he's too new to really be a real influence.
You can't say that.
But
you can't say that. He ain't that new. He a decade in, bro.
Well, to me, he's new because I really came up listening to the other artists that I mentioned.
Makes sense.
I really, their influence really, dug into me.
Yeah.
But I did get some influence from J. Cole, just artists who know how to put, a vision together with their words. They say things that have, that can have some meaning to them.
Yeah.
I like lyrics and a sound that has substance. Not to knock anybody else doing any other style, but for me personally, that's just, that's kind of something that I looked into. Producer wise, one of my favorite producers would have to be Zaytoven.
Yeah.
Zaytoven's one of my favorites.
He's got a phenomenal. He like number 3 or number 4 for me too. So I fuck with
number 2.
I fuck with it, yeah.
I would say, Zaytoven
Southside
is definitely on that list.
Southside number 2.
I could see Zaytoven, Metro Boomin. I could definitely see that.
All right.
Southside.
I got Metro Boomin, Southside, Zaytoven, like Timberland, and For Real. Top 5.
Yep.
Okay, I can deal with that. I can deal with that.
Yeah.
I could definitely deal with that.
I was gonna say Zaytoven, Southside, and Timberland.
I'm gonna say people probably gonna look at people if you don't like that trap sound. No, and I'm gonna put honorable mention. Shawty Red.
Shawty Red.
Shawty Red, honorable mention.
Oh, okay.
regardless of regardless of if you really listen to trap music or not, if you kind of like do a little bit of research on Southside,
Yeah,
you will understand like what it is that they went through. Even Metro Boomin, like
yeah.
everything that they went through and how dedicated they were to their craft, which made them so successful. And that's one of the things, like that work ethic. That's one of the things that really
Only,
led me to
but
have
you
them
know
on
what?
my
Only
list.
reason I fuck with. I feel like Metro Boomin is my favorite producer because it's too many. He cultivated a sound like Future, Metro Boomin, and I
That makes
feel like
sense.
Future is the grandfather to what music is right now. Hip hop music.
You said
Future
Future?
from from the Little Babies to the Uzi Verts, and these even to the Drake to a certain extent. Like I feel like Metro Boomin created that sound. What is going on right now, as far as production wise.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
So that's
I have
why
a
he's my favorite. Yeah.
I have a question for you. What is it that makes you so passionate about music?
Oh, that's a good question.
So I'm gonna say this. It's not even so much that I'm passionate about music. I'm a Taurus. So if
Oh
you
my
like,
gosh. Not you added in the
nah,
zodiac.
nah. Listen, I'm a Taurus. So if you like go do some research on my sign, like I always have to be creating something. If
Oh,
it's
I did not know
music,
that.
like I don't try everything. I don't try clothing, I don't try music, I don't try poetry, I don't try podcast. Like I have to do something. It just if I'm not doing something, it fucking irritates me. Like I'm in a
Uh,
mood that you won't even. I'm like irritated, so I have to be creating something. If I'm
oh,
not creating something, but I'm fire at. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I'm fire at music,
what you do?
whatever. I'm fire. Whatever I'm doing in music, I'm fire. Like I could take like I pride myself. I could take like a regular person and turn them into a dope ass and make them a dope ass song.
I
And
like that. I've seen it.
that's just me.
Yeah.
I could I could take a person who's never recorded, did nothing in their life before, in that what I'm saying aspect, and we can create a fire ass song. That might
Right.
be my arrogance, but
That's not
it's just
arrogance, it's
me. I
confidence.
feel like
I mean, you're just confident in your craft. Like that's it.
If you're saying
I
what you're
mean
saying is
before
true, it's
not
just
even that
Yeah.
facts.
before
Yeah, it's just fact. Yeah, but say
It's
it's
just
facts.
facts.
So Rob, well, okay, the same thing, the same question goes to you. What makes you so passionate in your craft and everything that you do?
Man, I think it's just being able to completely immerse myself in it, like and be able to feel the music. Sometimes people like just hear music, but you got to be able to feel music too.
Right, yeah, yeah.
When you get completely immersed in music, it's just a beautiful thing. It's just I found myself, doing something that I could do for hours and hours and hours
yeah.
without time. There's no time
Yeah,
involved. Like
yeah.
I could stay here forever,
Right.
so when you find something like that, it's just something that it's kind of like a high. Creation is a high for people who like to create,
Yeah.
and we're always chasing the next high,
Exactly.
which means we're
Yeah.
It
always
just
creating.
That's a
it
good way to
just
put it. I could never
nah,
figure it out. I'm like, yeah, it is chasing the next
it
high.
just
Like,
explained. Yeah, he just
yeah, you just
explained what
explained
I
it
was just
very
saying.
well.
What I
Yeah.
was just saying in that little. Yeah,
Definitely. It does feel weird when you're not like doing stuff. Like it is good to take time for yourself, but even in that time, it gets like, okay, now I got to do something else. Like I've been away too
Right.
long from creating, even like thinking stuff. When you're not doing something as a
Hmm.
creator, you're always thinking of the next thing. Like
I
as
mean,
soon as this hit, oh, I want to do this. As soon as I
how many
get this, I'm
times
gonna
on
do this.
how many times on hit you and be like, bro, I'm bored. We gotta
Yes,
fucking come up with
plenty of
something.
times. Yes, plenty of times, plenty of times, plenty of times.
We just did that yesterday.
Plenty of time. And
Yeah,
that's
and
why I like
then I
having a
make and,
podcast.
and then like I dead ass like I dead ass did the same shit. We was talking like, bro. I was like, I'm bored, bro. We gotta do something. And then me and him like made a beat.
Yeah.
Like we made like 2 beats, right? We made
Yep.
like 2 beats.
I made
and
one. You
like I
made
was
one.
making a beat. He was like, nah, you should do that. Yeah. We was making a beat at the same fucking time, bro. So we was making a beat at the same fucking
Oh,
time. And I was like, nah, bro. Hey, do that.
I got a question.
Like, nah,
I got a
bro, do
question
that.
for both of y'all. I got a question for both of y'all then. Since y'all both create beats, right? So when y'all first started, what was the
Bro,
hardest thing
hold on,
about
time
starting?
out. Hold on, time out.
Well,
Bro,
I'm timing out.
Are you gonna send me the beat?
Absolutely.
You timed out for that.
I was coming up with a melody in my head. You know what I'm talking about, the rock beat.
I got you.
What?
Absolutely.
All right, go ahead. What's your question, Steve?
Anyway, when y'all first started making beats, what was the hardest part, like starting, like for you, for each of you? So Rob, you can go first.
I think probably the hardest part was probably, man, that's kind of hard. I kind of feel like, my first beat was good, a lot better than others. And I'm not trying to sound crazy or nothing like that, but conceited or anything like that. But it's just like I have an ear for music. So, a lot of people when they make beats, it's just like not on in tempo. The sound selection is just absolutely horrible.
Yeah, you can tell.
Think I would probably say the hardest part for me was understanding how to create the proper space in the beat. So arrangement. For example, you can hear so many sweet sounds and you're like, ooh, I need that sound. Well, next thing you know, when you play that beat, you got way too many sounds in there. Right. So you have to understand and know which ones fit for that beat, for the vibe that you're trying to create. So you don't overdo it to a point to where, you don't catch a vibe with the beat, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
In the beginning, that's probably my hardest, that was the hardest thing for me. Selecting the proper sounds for the beat and, minimizing, what I was putting in, because I was putting too much in at the beginning.
Okay. All right, Stacks.
My hardest part about making a beat was the melody.
Okay.
I'm saying coming up with a melody because I don't know how to play piano. And most producers know how to play piano. So that was probably my difficult part. But I was fired with the drums. Like I'm fired with the drums, but like my most difficult part was coming up with a melody, and it was just difficult because honestly I started making beats for myself because I was trying to be an artist.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
So like I got tired of paying for beats, so I just wanted to come up with my own beats. But people started fucking with my beats and it was like, who made your beat? I was like, shit, me.
I did.
It was like, oh, for real? Shit. Yeah. Make me a beat. And like me like trying to make a melody and for somebody else, that was the hardest part. But I got this shit now.
You own it now.
I'm on it. I'm a pro.
He sure is.
I'm a pro.
30 minutes in and out. That bad boy is done.
All right. I gotta wait. Do you have another question, Stacks? Because I have another one in my head.
Go ahead. Nah, you go ahead.
So I always think of this, like of course we got other things going on in our life, but like we're like as creators, you're passionate about, I won't say one thing, but we have like different avenue with creating that we just love that. So if you were not doing what you're doing now in this creation process, what do you think you would be doing? Like knowing you as a person, what do you think that you would be doing?
Are you talking about like if I couldn't do music?
Yeah, if you just couldn't do music.
My other hobby is firearms instruction, so I'm a big gun head.
Okay.
I got credentials in firearms and throughout different states to teach people, self-defense and stuff like that. So my other hobby would be that I'd be, giving classes on concealed carry and reciprocity laws and things like that.
Oh, nice. I did not know that. See, you learn something new. Everybody think that's what I was trying to get at, because I think a lot of people, if they see what you're doing, they don't like, oh, what else do you do? This is just all you do. A lot of us got other things like that we're good at as well. We just love what we do in general. So,
Honestly, I would probably say another thing too would be like photography
mhm,
and videography. So I dabble in videos. However, I've since I've started my company, I've kind of moved more towards a specific niche called niching down.
mhm,
And what happens when you niche down is you focus on a specific
yep,
skill. When you
yep,
focus on that specific skill, I think it's 10,000 hours to be actually real proficient and master a skill.
yeah,
So if you're doing multiple different things, you can never be a master of one thing. So that being said, I want to provide, the best services for my company. So I'm trying to niche down and focus more on mixing,
mhm,
and I'm looking at professionals for outsourcing, mastering and stuff like that. Same with videos, professionals, to do the video editing and stuff like that. So that way,
nice.
when the customers come to me, they have, the best of the best working for them.
That's dope.
Hence, I know Stacks don't want to talk about it right now, but we're
Uh,
gonna that's why he's
uh-oh.
gonna be on the website with the
Oh yeah,
beats.
yeah, yeah, yeah. With the beats.
Nah, bro. Nah, bro. You don't help. Like I told you, bro. You like I'm gonna help you with whatever you doing, bro. So whatever I gotta do, I gotta do.
Ditto.
Stacks,
So
what do you
I'm.
think? What do you think if you just couldn't do music, what would you be doing? Or what do you know in your mind that you also have another hobby or something that,
Honestly, I would be in sports.
yeah, you have told me that
I,
before.
yeah, I'll be like coaching somewhere or something like that. Like like that's what I would be doing. But
Like a little league team or something like that, just your own type team.
nah, I can't do no little league. Probably like high school
Okay,
or
okay.
So
college,
I
which I'm probably gonna get into in my later years. But right
Yeah.
now, I'm doing. I'm
I
young.
have
I'm
a
doing my
challenge
thing
for
now.
you guys.
So,
I have a
Okay.
challenge for you.
What's up?
So anybody out there listening, I've been recently looking into high schools to
Mhm.
start a apprenticeship program,
Okay.
non for profit, right? So I challenge you guys to do the same thing. Basically, what you're gonna do is you're gonna get a high school, student who's not doing so well, or maybe they're doing well, and provide them some mentorship in what it is you specialize in,
Oh wow.
right?
That's
Now,
dope.
two things is going to happen.
Mhm.
One, you're going to be a positive role model to that person.
Mhm.
You may influence their grades and their behavior in a positive way. You're also going to get a young apprentice who you can mold to help assist you with what it is that you do,
Okay.
yeah,
right? So if you build the right kind of relationship and find the right kind of person, you are now molding the youth to do a specific task that you could depend on.
For sure.
And not saying that, people out there, is everybody out there has got ill intent, but we're just speaking facts when we say not everybody's got your best interest in mind, so
They don't.
the possibility of you taking the youth in, showing them the right way, teaching them your craft, and having them work as an apprentice free for non-for-profit for you is, it's very likely that, they're going to do the right thing. They're going to learn the right stuff, and you're providing them the opportunity and some mentorship that you probably didn't have coming up. So I
Wow.
challenge you guys to do the same thing. It's a way to reach out to the community, and it's a way to also get help for
Right.
the things that you
facts,
do.
Yes,
facts,
yes,
facts,
that's
facts.
wow. Honestly, I applaud you on that one because I didn't think of that. But
Yeah.
now, I mean, I see.
Facts.
I mean, we're here in Anchorage or whatever in Alaska. Honestly, I've said this before. I feel like Alaska has a lot of talent. A lot of talent is young, but I feel like Anchorage in general is very click and very
Hmm.
small. But a lot of these young kids have talent, but they
I'm
just
Right.
don't.
I'm gonna say
I don't
I'm gonna
think they
say
know where to
this
put it
like
all the time.
every Thanksgiving, we do like a nonprofit and we go feed the homeless. So like
Yes, yeah, yeah, we could do that too. I mean,
yeah,
as I mean, you have your company, Rob. As far as like Stay Steezy, I wouldn't mind doing that at all. Just opening it up. I would put it out there, be like, hey, you know, nonprofit or whatever. If you're interested in doing this, like I could teach you what I know, Stacks can teach you. Even we can get on stuff
Yeah.
like this and just have mentorship just like this. We don't have to record it, but we can get on here
Absolutely.
and someone that can ask you a question. Honestly, I would not mind opening that up. Like I said, if you guys are listening, some people don't want to be on podcasts. They just, you know, want to ask questions and go about their day.
Yeah.
So if you
Right.
guys, well, I'll say this right now. If you are listening right now, Rob, I applaud you for that. That's very good. If any of you guys want to get on here and just ask questions, because, you know, we're at different stages. Like y'all do y'all thing right here, but some like where I do with videos, they want to learn stuff from me too. So I could teach them something and they could teach us something. And that's what I
But yeah,
like.
that's
Yeah.
but yeah, so this what I was telling you, bro. Like it's something that I think you should do more. Like get
Yeah.
on YouTube and do video tutorials on how to mix
Yeah.
and
I know.
you
I've
know what
been
I'm saying,
told that.
videos.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
just takes a lot. It
that's
just takes
something
a
you should
lot.
do.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah. I will open
It
that
don't.
up. Definitely. It does.
You
So
know,
I want to. So
there
look,
is a
I
time and a
want.
place for that.
I want
Yeah.
However, there's that one-on-one connection is important,
Yeah, it is.
because
it is.
like you can watch YouTube all day, but it might
Yeah.
just be
It is
one part
a
that's
lot.
holding you back. And that's why
Yep.
you need a mentor to tell you
Yep.
this is why
But
you do
this.
that.
So that's why I reach out to Rob, because I could be like, hey, bro, how
That's
you
true.
do this? Like, how you supposed to do this? And he'd be like, all right, do this, and
And
then
e- even saying that, like some people I've watched, like I taught myself music videos just through YouTube and just learning. And I
Mhm.
had
I taught
and
myself making beats through
yeah,
YouTube
I'm
too.
sure a lot of us taught, like all of us can't go to school and do this stuff. This is like self-taught stuff.
Mhm.
So I learned on YouTube, and when I got to Alaska, Rozzy was my first artist. And I mean, like she was just like,
Hmm.
hey, like
Shout out to
Rozzy,
Rising.
like I always applaud Rozzy because she didn't have to give me a chance at all. Like I came here with the intent, like you don't have to pay for nothing. And she was like paying me. She was like, we can go out every weekend. I got songs for days. Like I really applaud her.
Shout
Like
out to
we was
Rising.
doing it, and she was just like, you know, I worked with this person and they did this. I'm just saying, like, she was never like, you know, hard. She was just like, hey, like
Can we get
maybe you want to do this,
can
like
we get
type stuff.
can we get her on the line?
Oh,
And we
I
interview
probably
her.
not right now. Yeah, we can interview her. Won't be today, but
No,
yes, we.
not
Like,
right
oh
now. I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
saying.
Oh, but say, yeah, of course. Yeah, I can always talk to Rozzy. She's always a good. Actually, you know
All right.
what?
So look,
I got a surprise for y'all. I ain't even. You know what? I got you. I
so
got you,
look,
Stacks.
I
Don't
want to,
even worry
I
about it.
want, so look, I want to get into a new segment of the podcast.
All right, let's go. Uh-oh.
I'm gonna call this shit. Get into the bullshit.
Oh God. This is gonna be 5 minutes.
Derrick Jackson, go.
Do you know who Derrick Jackson is?
No.
See, you can't even do it right now. This is some me and you stuff. I have another question for Rob.
All right.
So Dylan, okay, so right now I want you to talk about your business. So
Yeah. So that was
talked
my
about your
last
class.
question.
Yeah. The classes and stuff. You can go into detail about that. What your business is really about, like everything that you were saying
Yeah.
in the beginning. I just want you to get like a rundown and what you I guess what you're expected of. Like when people come to you, what do they expect from you?
Right. So, I started this business because, I felt like, in nowadays, it's not a lot of people going to major record labels. And then when
Yeah.
they are going to record labels, you got managers that are making more money than the artists, which is sad,
Yeah.
So, I thought to myself, why don't I get educated and teach these artists who are out there trying to do it themselves how to be better, how to tighten up and how to lead them in the right direction to where they can keep money in their pocket, they can be as creative as they want, at the same time get compensation for the work that they're putting in.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
you know, that was like my whole thought process behind, you know, the business itself.
Okay.
So, you know, I mean, yes, I do offer, you know, mixing services and other services, templates and things like that. But ultimately it's just my my services is just a tool bag, you know, that's all it is. You consider me a tool. You use me
Yeah.
to get better than what you are, and you can rock with me for as long as you want, or you can move
Exactly.
on. You know, that's all it's about. You know, granted, you know, there are normal things in the music business, such as, you know, publishing royalties and certain royalties, which I will be having a class on that in the future.
Okay.
You know, a lot of people, you know, a lot of artists don't really understand royalties and things like that. And for those people who
I
don't
don't.
know,
I'm
yeah, for
saying because
those,
I didn't know.
yeah, for those people who don't, you know, understand royalties, there are specific standards and specific laws, you know, that, you know, just kind of like give you, you know, they explain, so to speak, they explain, you know, what is normal, the normal rate for a producer. Say like Stax does a beat for the artist. The artist
Mhm.
may not know that he is automatically legally entitled for
50.
50% of
I
the
know that.
publish.
So
Yeah.
I,
Yeah, I
I
didn't know
know
Right.
that.
that.
Yeah. So, you know, those are the types of, you know, that's the type of information that I try to provide to people. You know, I just try to help artists the best way that I can. You know, for artists who are not so, you know, technically inclined, you know, don't really know how to mix and master. They're not trying to do all that. They
Yeah.
just want to record. They could come talk to me then too. They can just take my class on how to properly record, how to properly
Yep.
acoustically treat their rooms, send the
Yep.
vocals in and get them done.
Okay.
Facts.
Right. And then we
And
got,
I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say this. Jay, I love you to death.
Oh
But what
God.
he just said was a gem to you. 'Cause I only took 20. Let's go.
Thank you for letting her know that.
right. So,
'Cause I-
so another thing is to, so I kind of, I think I touched on it earlier, but I'm going to have a lot of different producers on my website, and it's all going to have to be non for profit at the moment. However, non for profit does not mean that that producer is not entitled to royalties. So I want
exposure.
everyone
It's
who's
exposure.
watching, yes, I want everyone to listen to what I'm saying, who's watching, right? There's a such thing as work for hire, which would be the producer, you paying the producer to make the beat. And then there's standard royalties that come out of that production, right? Because that producer
Standard
made
standard
that
mean 50%.
Okay.
yes. So that producer is automatically entitled to compensation for his works.
Wow.
So non-for-profit means you didn't have to pay for the beat, but that does not mean that you don't have to, you know, that producer is not going to get royalties for the beat made, for the song made,
Okay.
because 50% of that song is the beat. And then the remainder of the royalties are divided amongst, you know, how many
Whatever you got
persons,
going on over there.
right,
Okay.
right. And we'll get deeper into all that stuff during the class, but you know, that's pretty much like an overview, you know, of what we got going on. I think I mentioned as well, like I have mastering engineers. I have a few mastering engineers that I'm interviewing right now. I plan to hire, and just the purpose of that is just like I said before, niching down, you
Yeah.
know, me focusing only
Yeah.
on mixing so that I can, you know, provide the highest quality of service, you know, for my customers. And at each level, from the beat, from Stax or any
Yeah.
of my other producers, you know, he focuses on beats. That's his main thing all day, every
Yeah.
day. He could do a beat
Yeah.
in no time, right?
No,
That's his
honestly,
main
yeah.
thing, right? So that's his main thing. He
Songwrite too though,
specializes.
bro.
Yeah, he can
Songwriting.
Yeah, he
write
can
song.
write a song too. Yeah.
He can write a
Yes.
song too. You know, he can write a
It-
song too. But you know, those beats, from the beats to the mixing to moving up to the mastering, you know, I got specific people set in place to go ahead and, you know, and handle those areas. So like I said, the customers have the best experience that they can get.
Okay. I really appreciate that. And I really appreciate having you. Do you want to say your website and any of your platforms that you're on, social media?
Sure. So you guys can hit me up at proeliteproductions.com, right? And then if you want to send me an email, it's robtaylor@proeliteproductions.com. And I appreciate you guys for having me on the podcast. Thank you.
Of course. We got to bring you back because we're going to go deeper into, you know, next time I feel like one of your classes, we should go like, I'll have like people do a poll and what they want to talk about. Because me as a person, like I just like learning different stuff because I mean, that's just me. I like learning about, you know, the music side. So I think we should definitely bring you back and just have like, you know, royalties. Like I didn't know anything about royalties, to be honest. That's like a big thing that people don't understand. And with people, like you said, going into contracts with people and not knowing what's going on, like they get bamboozled with, oh, where's my money at? And they're like, whoa, you signed this contract. And I think like that's contracts too. Yeah.
That's because they gave them money up front. And that's the thing people don't understand. Don't take no money up front. You want the royalties.
And and I think a lot of people with getting away from going to these record labels, that's a big thing to talk about too. This can definitely be like a multiple part thing because
that's a dope ass. So record labels, we ain't gonna get into it because we ain't got.
We'll definitely get into it another time. Thank you, Rob, for being on with us.
Record labels gonna be obsolete in 10 years.
I feel that too.
They're already feeling the pain right now.
To be continued.
Thank you, Rob, so much. It's been real. Thank you guys for listening. Kreativ Antics. See you next time. Peace.